Hi guys, it's Stephen here, and this is Queertine. And this week I have a very important guest. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ida. Probably don't know me because I'm a bit of a hermit, but yeah, I'm buzzing to be on Stephen's channel, so we're going to have a good old chat.
Definitely, we've been through working in hospitality. Definitely had many nights out, and also the fact that I kind of work out when you're definitely like full on like beast mode, like working out and shit. Like I squat sometimes. Yeah, as I usually do on here, and what I genuinely ask most people is, how are you doing today? How are you dealing? Obviously, this pandemic is a bit crazy. How are you dealing today with yourself, or how are you? If we were to ask it.
Yeah, like obviously, the isolating thing is not really ideal because I'm such a social person. Like I love being out with people, so it's like really different for me to like be like in one place and then you're like stuck with your thoughts and stuff. But I'm really lucky to still be working, and I've only just started a new job, so I'm onboarding at
But
home, which is a bit weird because you're on Zoom and you're like, can't really say let's go for pints after this.
also, you're onboarding at home with the new
Yeah,
company.
yeah.
Oh, and how is that going for you? So, like, obviously, onboarding, I know for myself what I do with companies, onboarding is like you get trained different things, but you're usually in a classroom with other people. And how are you finding that as obviously someone at home?
Yeah, like it's different. The first day was definitely like, I hate this because I can't really interact with anyone, and it's such a big group. There's like 30 of us. But like it's good. Like we get put in little breakout areas to do like group work. They're really funny. Like
Perfect.
they allow breaks because your eyes do be burning, like looking at the screen.
No, the fact that they're actually doing the break groups, like so, obviously, you know yourself from working in like big companies, you do have little breakouts when you're in your introduction week. You get put in different groups, but it's kind of lovely to hear that they're doing that within Zoom, like or whichever system they're using. Like it's kind of cool that they're actually are breaking it away. So you are still yes, there's 30 of these, but you might get to know them four people in that little group that you're in for up to 5 minutes. You might be doing that thing. That's actually very handy for like towards the way I was treated with the company I was meant to work for, and I'm glad that that's working out for you.
Hello to the book.
Yeah, but no, don't talk about that. Don't want to be serious. How are you feeling yourself? Never mind the job. How are you doing?
Yeah, like some days obviously are really bad. Like I noticed, I would have said like maybe 3 weeks ago, like looking at the news and then just being really angry. Like I think a
Mm,
lot of people are dealing with the fact of being so angry and like finding like who is responsible for this, like kind of towards your anger for it. And like I
yeah.
was isolating with my granny and I just would have mental breakdowns in front of her, and she was kind of like, you just need to cop on and get over it. Like it just is what it is.
Yeah, no, I completely get what you're saying there. Like, I myself have, you know, we both know we've both struggled with mental health, but obviously someone like your nanny wouldn't kind of understand you having a mental break or having that little wobble because that's, as you just said, get on with, that's all they know.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That's
she's
all
very
they
much
know.
stays at home anyway, so she wouldn't know
Mm.
any different. But like to her, she's like thinks she's invincible. I think old people think they have this shield of invincibility, like coronavirus. Oh,
And
I'd be proud.
my nanny's the exact same. She's like, oh, I never leave the house. I've left the house to happen. I'm like, yeah, but if you fucking leave the house once, our entire family, like, don't you dare try to
Mm.
fucking step outside your fucking front door. Literally as my auntie, and like my auntie doesn't let her leave, but we're all like, don't you even think about it, because they do think they're invincible. They're like, oh, try to through like World War II and this shit. I'm like, yeah, but World War II is not coronavirus.
Yeah,
Different.
my granny says, I don't have any underlying conditions, so I'd be fine. And I'm like, Granny, you take like 50 tablets a day for conditions you have.
I'll say you're old, and it's not even the fact that she's old, but it's the fact that she's taking tablets for other things. But like, no, I don't have asthma or a lung condition or that kind of bronchitis. Like the main things are saying. But if you're taking tablets, obviously her immune system is compromised. That she has to take them like to fix it. I know my nan used to say, my granny, like that lives with my dad, and it's like, Chicago, and granny, like, don't you dare leave the house. She can't drive anymore. But it's like,
Yeah.
stop getting out of the hand of the house. Like, you're not allowed. We're not letting you.
But
Like,
is
it's
your granny
terrifying.
like to be very like chatty? Like my granny is such a typical like Irish granny who goes out and I'm like social distance, don't talk to anyone. And she will literally like talk to
Lena with
anyone
Clemens.
on the street, like just anyone.
Nanny Morris, so mommy's nanny wouldn't. She lives with my auntie, so she has her house and it's attached to my auntie's house. So she obviously sees them. She doesn't see anyone else. That's it. So her culture, she can go out with them. My nanny Doyle, or my dad's mum, she is social distance. My dad lives with her, but a lot of my cousins, my family down home, live on that road. So they do social distance with her. But Granny wants the hug, and Granny wants to see the kids because some of my cousins have kids and that and stuff. And it's really hard because, like, at the start of this, our family was like full on just going up and giving Granny hugs and talking to her. And us as the kids had to like talk to our parents. I'm like, that's not okay. She's way too fucking like at risk. Never mind because she has like a lung condition, but just because she's old and like she is at the age she is, like she's like in her late 70s, but it is just like her underlying issues. And they were like, oh, she's grand, none of us have it. I'm like, you fucking don't do it. And this is at the start, like.
Yeah, like it's kind of like getting used to it because like this happened to me maybe about 3-4 weeks ago. I was in the shop like doing my shopping, Aldi, social distance and whatever. And then I had my earphones in and a guy walks into the shop that I actually know. And I just like waved at him and he came over and hugged me. And I was like, man, you can't do that.
No. But I want to hug my friends, but I'm also like, stay back. Stay the fuck back. 6 feet apart from me.
And people around me were judging me. They were like, what a whore hugging that fella.
Because they think you went in for it when it was literally him that came to hug you, like. Oh, yeah,
but it's in the moment, it's so quick, you don't even have time to process what's happening. So afterwards I went home, like washed all my clothes, like started scrubbing my hands. I was like, oh my God, lads, I have it.
Oh, I laughed that much I pulled my hair ones out. Yeah, no, but I did. I've done that as well, where we went to the shop and I like brush off them and do exactly what you said. Go home, everything into the wash.
Like burn this.
Like germs, goodbye. Like it's like obviously with like food wise, I'm high risk, so like I have asthma, so it's bad enough for me to.
I'm the same.
So like we shouldn't be going out. Like, and I do the odd time go get food. But my housemate unfortunately had cancer at one point. So obviously he's high risk because of the complications after that, because your body's obviously your immune system lower. So our house is high risk. But I was working for a company and going to another company, and they were just like, before all this happened, trying to name them, trying to do that, but we won't get in trouble just in case. But I was meant to go to them, like, are you coming back? I'm like, well, no, like the reason I left my old job early, that my job told me to stay home, was because I am high risk and I have health issues, and so do my housemates. I'm like, oh no, we thought you were just like, the last 2 weeks of work, not coming in. So you coming in 27th, I'm like, well, the country's about to be shut down, so probably fucking not, but like, yes, I would accept your job, but also I'm now being paid by the government, so that's how that went.
Yeah, like when I was working before in the bank, like I've been in the bank like a year, and my manager like pulled me aside one day. I think it was about a month before everyone was still in office, and he was like, look, Ida, I'm not being like rude, but can you please leave and not come back because you have asthma. You are welcome to work at home for like, I don't know, a month or whatever. They were so sound about it. He was like, I just don't think you should be on premise. Like, they were really good about it.
Oh, I haven't heard that. I've heard the other side of it. I've heard where people were like, I have massive or have issues, and I've been told to work in office. What month was that? Was that January or February?
I think, yeah, it was February. Like, so I was like, grand, I'll see you in a week. That's a week of me just chilling in bed, which turned into 2 months.
I turned up, pressed the button, there's your money, go away.
Yeah.
And obviously, I wouldn't expect you to say which bank that was. I'm very surprised that they did that for you.
Yeah, no, it was good. Like, I had a good manager, and
sure.
They can't really just expect you to come in during a pandemic. Like, no, goodbye.
Well, like it's the company that I was meant to go work for, or saying to some of them staff, like they had brought staff into the store about 2 weeks ago, and we don't know if it was one of the staff members' families, or the security company for the actual retail park, but they legally weren't allowed in the store. They got shut down very quickly by a phone call and told to send all their staff home very quickly because what they were doing was very illegal.
Yeah, no, there would be no chance. Like, you have to put your foot down and be like, well, my health is more important than coming to work for you. Jobs will always be there in the future.
Like that's my point at the moment. Like I haven't onboarded with the new company, as you said earlier, so I don't work for them yet. So I'm getting the government pay at the moment. So I'm not loyal to any company. Obviously, I spoke with that manager and I left my other job to get that job. Whatever. There's a whole backstory to it. But the fact that I thought, like, I have no loyalty to that company, so it's very different. But I'm also seeing the other side of it, how companies are acting in
Yeah.
this situation as well, and how greedy things are happening as well. And have you seen that in your own life, or would you have any reaction to that?
I think it's just really telling. Like, I don't know if you saw, but Airbnb, who are a massive company, laid off 25% of their staff. And just like looking from my point of view, I'm starting in a company, like they're quite a big company as well. So like starting with them, I was like kind of like, shit, what if I lose my job? I'm taking such a gamble leaving my secure job and going to this company. Like, and they're very much like, no, it's grand. But I was also like, the days coming up, I was like really worried. But then they're hiring new people every month. They were like, a pandemic is not going to stop us hiring people. So it just shows like where the company is lying. So with Airbnb, it's just, how do we make the most revenue? Like they want to still stay in business. So they're like, I'm cutting like our staff, like you mean nothing. It's kind of, it's the same with Aer Lingus and Ryanair. They just don't care.
It's like the hotel we used to work in.
We'd be first on the chopping board, like adios, bye.
Oh, like obviously we shouldn't name names about the company or the hotel we worked in, but like, do you remember the nights? Yeah, remember the nights where there was like 15 of us working, and like a large table gave you like a personal tip, and that tip had to go into the group, and you might have got like a 20, 50 euro tip, and then you ended up getting like €4 in a night, like, it's that kind of shit. Like,
no, you'd work like 15 hours just to make enough money for like 2 pints.
I remember, like, what was it? I used to get paid, I think it was around 700, 800 euro. I used to get paid every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You were like me, full time, every other day. You weren't even on a full time. I was on a full time contract. You weren't. I know you were on a part time contract, but you worked full time hours.
Yeah, like I don't think I even had a contract. Like I've worked like in the hotel industry, like obviously growing up and stuff, but I don't think I ever signed a contract with any of those jobs. Like I didn't realize that was a thing.
Oh, you had no, no, I full on. Like I made sure I had contracts. Very.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I was, because if you remember, I was working in the restaurant and I got shifted over to the banquet.
Oh yeah.
Because said person said I wasn't working enough, but then banking was a more important part of it. You remember that person, you know.
It's just they throw you all into everything.
But then to turn around, like 6 months later, I was running the afternoon teas and I was the manager. But look, people, we can say several things, but we won't. You know, like it's very weird looking back on that now, especially with the hotel industry is another thing we could obviously talk about as well. That's going to be very different now. Like what we did isn't going to exist anymore, really, because when are hotels going to open back up?
But it's mental for the staff, obviously. Like, I know some like bars and stuff have kept on their staff, which is
they're doing the 4 long thing. I think it is.
Sorry.
I think they're doing the 4 long thing.
Yeah,
that's in England, but they're keeping them on, or they're giving some sort of money. Yeah.
But then it's just like people who like, they don't actually know if they'll have a job to go back to, where like it's just such uncertainty, and my heart does go out to people like that, because it's just like, where do you stand, you know? And that's what it's like in the hotel business as a whole. You never really know where you stand.
Yeah, you don't know if you're going to have a shift tomorrow because you turned up late, even though you know you'll be there and they won't let go of you because you're told you're so important. But also, if you ask for that, I'll fire you.
Yeah, literally.
You don't need days off. Who are you?
You're such a good waitress, but you better come in at 6 a.m. tomorrow. You're fired.
And don't ever ask for days off. Days off, what are they? Work 15 days in a row. You miss it?
I miss it so much.
No, I do miss the friends and the crowd. I won't say that. I do miss that. I do miss the camaraderie of all of us having the crack, and the majority of us coming in drunk on a Saturday morning for a breakfast shift and full on serving people who spent like 500 quid for their rooms and breakfast shit, and all of us been like, I like vodka and smokes, so does the rest of my staff. Please go away. Like we all full on did that. Like I remember me and you hiding in the freezer.
Like now about working, because like I love being around people, and I go into the office and I have the crack with people. And I'm like, how can I bully you over the phone? I need
Yeah.
you in person.
So then you just sound like an asshole if you do it over the phone. Like, but obviously when you're doing it in person, like you're like, I'm obviously joking, but like people are like, no, she's just bullying me. I'm like, it was a joke. But then you're like, oh, you can't see my face. Mm.
And it's so hard to like get correct communication over text, because I got a pizza, like, and I just posted it on my Instagram the other night, and I actually just was like chatting to this dad I know, and he was like, oh, make sure you don't lose your gains now with that pizza. And then I was like, what? But I don't think people mean like what they're writing, or they don't like pop on till afterwards. And I was
Like
kind
he
of like,
meant that in like the weight side, but like defo that came across even when I heard that. Like,
yeah, and I was like, should I feel guilty for that pizza I just ate?
No, I've done this so much. Actually, I haven't done this, but we have ordered half and half at the place in Blanche, just like really good burgers, and we ordered it in recently. Have you done much ordering of takeaways?
Yeah, like, do you know what? Like, usually I would go out and eat like a lot outside of the situation, and like being in quarantine now kind of made me like reassess my habits. Like, I was drinking way too much before we even went into lockdown. Like drinking, like going out like 3 nights a week, like I would drop literally like, I don't know, like €500 on a weekend, and then like hate myself on a Sunday morning. But like I was just constantly in that pattern. Like every week it was the same thing: go out, have dinner like maybe once or twice a week with friends, get pissed at the weekend, like would literally never say no to going for drinks. And then came into quarantine and I was like, well, like I actually don't like alcohol. I like drinking with my friends, but like I wouldn't sit down and drink on my own. And I tried to one day and I couldn't even finish one can. So like even when I'm on my Zoom chats with my mates, I'm like, I'd have like 3 drinks. So once I go out, I'm going to be like low tolerance, and I'm probably going to be so drunk off like,
you're going to be either from like 6 years ago when we worked a 12-hour shift. It's 2:30, now it's 1:30. I'm going half an hour left in 64, and you're like,
yeah, literally. Yeah, like I'm such a big drinker, and just coming into quarantine now, I think like I've kind of replaced the, like so much drinking with like ordering takeaways, because like when I was going out drinking, I'd never think to like eat food unless we were like going to a restaurant.
Going out for food, yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, shit, like I'm eating a lot more, and I was kind of like worrying for a long time. I was like, why am I eating so much? Like, because you're stuck with your thoughts, and you're like, oh my god, like I'm going to become overweight, well, or like I'm not going to look as good as before. And like I think it was just my body being like, yeah, you need those calories from the drink, but in food form.
Yeah, your body was like, no, like it's okay. We're not going to put 10 stone on. This is literally just us replacing the calories you give us from alcohol. Yeah, no, I was the same. Like, I used to drink so much before this happened. Like, obviously, I've gone having a can, yes, and come hungover, and I don't.
I love that you're saying that while holding the can. Yeah, I was such an alcoholic.
Yeah, before this, I'm definitely having a drink because I don't do my hangover. But before this, like I used to drink every evening because my bus was a slight fibbers, so I'd have a drink. But coming into this situation, like I full on had like full like chats with myself. I recently enough within this year, like or last year, had a breakdown. So there's a lot of time I've had with myself thinking. But coming into this, like obviously getting back into YouTube is something I never thought I'd ever do again, because I built this wall up of judgment in my own head that no one wanted to see and no one needed to see it, and I didn't have a voice, and it wasn't something I should do. But I've known for a long time, because you remember I used to do PU groups. I used to run that. And it's not that I have a voice and people should hear, but I have something to say, and if people want to hear it, they want to hear it. But I was so afraid to do that for so long. And then I kind of came into like, I think it was like 5 or 6 weeks into the quarantine, I was like, maybe you're not insane, just try it. And the minute I did it, it was like I came out again. There's weight and man, Killian, housemates.
You just have to be like, I really just don't care what people think. Like I'm going to post this and not be like, oh my god, why did I post that? Like I don't know if like you'd probably see on my Instagram, like I'm always posting stuff about feminism quite a lot, and a lot of the stuff is like kind of satirical artwork. And I love posting that because I think it's gas. I think it's really relatable.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, oh, here, this is the done deal. I think it's so funny, but like I don't comment on it. And then I'll get messages
You're
like,
not forcing your view on anyone. You're just posting something else because you've seen something.
But I find that like men would mostly, like I don't really have an issue with it. Some women are like, oh my God, why would you post that? But like men are very much like, oh my God, why do you hate us? And I'm like, I really just don't. I'm just having the crack. Like it's a funny meme.
Yeah, it was legit. That's a funny picture. Oh, no, don't talk to you, man. Even in this situation of like getting back into YouTube and doing things, it has been a lot of my female friends. You got onto me at the start of this and you were like, fair play for getting back into it. I've watched your video. And like that meant actually a lot to me. Like getting that message to you, I don't know if you know, but that meant quite a lot to me. Like it did warm my little heart. I was like, oh, people actually do care.
Yeah.
And it's not that the fact I'm posting things for people to care or to do anything about it. It's because I want to. And before I wasn't doing that, I was like, oh, I can do this. I know I'm not. And then it's like, I'm being creative. It's a creative outlet. And it's allowing me to be happy about fucking shit for the first time in a very long time. And it's like the fact of me looking at going back to work and I was like, right, I need to actually sit down and think, this is obviously something I'm going to pursue. Business and like social media and the brand and that kind of stuff, but also then how can I support myself as in like work as well? Like you're saying that obviously you've been on board with that company. But it's like the fact that looking outside of myself or yourself, what is going to happen with jobs.
That is the issue, but like as you were saying there about getting back into content creating, it's great that other people have reached out to you and just been like, look, that's really good. And sometimes even if someone's not reaching out to you, but they're still viewing the video, like some people are maybe a bit awkward because they might not know you that well, or oh my God, he'll think I'm a weirdo because I'm watching his videos. But like it's just nice.
I'm for posting them.
Secretly watching them. But yeah, no, it's really nice because like it's great to see people like doing stuff that I like. And I remember you were so into it before, and it's just good because like you're really natural. You're not like being like, oh hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's just very much like you and like relatable content because it actually has stuff to do with your life. It's not like here's like what's in my bag today.
Yeah, it's like the fact that I know I have so much stuff coming from Amazon on Tuesday and Wednesday. And no, it's not people have seen me do before. Like it's drag, you know, for years I love drag. Even when I was working in the hotel, I was always on about on RuPaul's Drag Race. It's sometimes I'm like, I cannot wait to get my nails and put them on. I was like, Kieran, you're going to know me now with nails. I'm everything I want. Like, just be like, nails. Like I glued my brows down last night. I was like, why? I was like, because I want to learn, but also look at my face.
And then you're isolating with your boyfriend then, like how are you finding that, like the dynamic of isolating in a couple, because like people are having conflicting views on that?
Yeah, it's a bit different. At the start, I suppose we were kind of pretending it wasn't happening. We weren't bringing it up, we were just trying to pretend that it was a normal situation. And then the more kind of got into it, we kind of had to have a sit down. Look, we've been together 3.5 years, nearly 4 years. We are very on most of the time on the same level, but this situation it did take us to sit down and have a conversation. Like we need to be kinder to each other. We need to, suppose, not be as judgy or quick to say something or quick to fire back. We've always said it, but never did it. And this kind of situation has obviously given us the ability to do that. And I've never been happy. Neither has he.
Yeah,
like we're going on 4 years now. Like.
Communication.
Like it's so strange that like it took, obviously we've been together for years, we've had all the chats. Unfortunately, I think yes, I do think the pandemic is unfortunate and the situation is happening, but I do think it's very beautiful what it's doing for a certain amount of people. Yes, for a certain amount of people it is. Like I text a lot of people last night, obviously yourself, to get in contact with this. I text a lot of people and I got a lot of replies from people like, I'm not in a good headspace at the moment. I wouldn't be able to do that because I don't know what's going on at the moment. And it was very sad to see that. But I know I've been there before this pandemic. I was in that headspace. But this pandemic has given me and Killian the ability to have that chat and have a conversation, and me to then look at myself. Like even with the video I put up today, I really looked about how I came out and how I've changed and how I, the person, changed. And like even just sitting there for, it took me 2.5 hours to record that video because I was being fake, and not that I was being fake, but I was trying to make it funny and relatable.
Yeah.
And then when I
Like
stopped
realness.
doing that, it was funny and relatable. When I stopped trying to be funny and relatable, it ended up being funny and relatable. So I was just trying to do that. But it's that side of like people, I think a lot of people are going to see that they're in not dead end jobs, but in jobs they're working for the money and it's keeping the family going. But also, I think there's going to be a lot of parents looking at like, okay, do I need this job? I have had a lot of time with my kids, that kind of thing. Like I asked this to my brother as well. He was like, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people that will think that, but then we'll fall back into it. What do you think on that? And do you think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I have had an epiphany. I don't think I should, not that they're going to quit their jobs, but reevaluate their life and how they do shit.
Yeah, like I've one really good friend who's working in the bank, and he has been in that job nearly 2 years now. And like as I would like my process of getting hired for the company I'm with now has been over the span of like 3 months. So I signed my contract before lockdown even, and when I was doing that, it kind of made him be like, well, I actually really hate my job. Like, and he's 24 and he kind of has it in his head, well, I need to be in a certain space by this time. And I'm like, no, like it's really like you're going to work lots of shitty jobs. Like you don't know where like you're going to go. You could change job every 2 years. And he's very much in the position now. Why didn't I look before the pandemic? But the thing is, he wouldn't have looked anyway.
No,
I think it's going through this situation where you're like, I'm actually miserable because when I was working in my past job, I was doing IT. I literally have no interest in IT, and I would literally go from like my bed to like my desk every day, and like I would literally be on a call and just lie on my bed, and I was just like such a slob.
That's not you. No, but that's not you from what I know of you. That's like literally, that's not you because you're so active and you, it's not that you crave attention, but you crave something to do. If you get me, like you crave work, kind of. You crave having to have something to do. So like that doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just that I think a lot of people, though, I agree with you, are going to reevaluate a lot of things like their job, or like I don't know, people might be like, you know, I don't want to live at home anymore, or like I want to be more responsible, because I was living with my granny for the last like 3 years, didn't care like about bills, it wasn't my problem, very much had the attitude like, you know, I'll just ride it out as much as I can. Like I'm 22 now, and I was like, I actually do want to be independent. I want to pay rent to be in a place. Like I obviously can't afford to buy a house. So that was like a big priority to me. Like I was like, I want to be in my own place. And I was contemplating like moving abroad. Like I was contemplating moving to South Korea at one point, just because I find some of the Korean men very good looking.
I get that. I get the move over there as well. Because you would be like a rich white woman. That would work very well for you. In this situation, maybe don't.
No, I think that was a good idea.
Yeah, that would work out. Yeah, that would work out very well for you. So like, if after the situation everything slows down, Dad will still look into that. You could. I'm not going to say make money, but you would be a very popular lady because you're a white lady and you're blonde and you're skinny, and you also have amazing abs. And if anyone is watching this, check out this bitch's Instagram.
Oh God, I'm so
My boyfriend, who was a bodybuilder, was just like, how? I was like, don't even ask. Just don't ask. Because I've seen you and your Instagram posts, I'm like, no.
But that's the thing. I feel like it's really easy to like portray a certain image on Instagram. Like a few weeks ago, I went through like a bit of a mental breakdown myself, kind of like most of my time in like secondary school and a bit of college, like I had serious like body image problems and like eating disorder tendencies. So now I've been kind of like reflecting on that, and then I'm like, it's all bullshit what I'm posting. Like I didn't see like the same thing in the mirror as the pictures. So like in the middle of quarantine, I was like I'm a bigger girl. Like I had all these things running through my head that weren't true. And I had one friend being like, Ida, like it's not fake. Like obviously pictures, you can distort them or whatever, or you can look slightly different in pictures. But it was very much like you kind of need to like assess how your thinking pattern is about stuff. I was very much like, I'm posting this picture where I look like I have abs, but I don't have abs. But then I was like, I feel like I have to represent this image on Instagram because it's already what I have there, and I'm so afraid of losing it. Because like once you're in good shape, you're like, oh my god, I cannot lose this. It needs to stay.
I know, I definitely get what you're saying, because like obviously Killian being a bodybuilder, it's different. Obviously you work to have your fitness at a different level, where he's looking to build massive muscles. And I did that with him for a while, and I was doing what you were doing, posting a lot of it and trying to keep up with that. But then obviously I got comfortable and I didn't post it anymore. But even the fact that you mentioned, obviously, I know some of your stuff before this, like you don't have to mention online, but it's the fact that like I know that what you're saying, like it breaks my heart to hear what you just said, that you're judging yourself, you're posting and you think it's fake. It's not, but it's because I know, because Killian goes through that with his body dysmorphia. He's just like, I see this and I'm like, oh, babe, you have lost so much weight. And he's like, yeah, but this fat still here, man. I'm like, and the scale hasn't changed. I'm like, yeah, the scale may have not changed, but you've put muscle mass on.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fat is dropping off your body. The scale, the number might stay the same. But he's the person that told me that, but he still can't see that because of it. And it breaks my heart to hear that you're thinking in that idea as well. I don't care how much you've had in this quarantine, whether that picture was new or old. You're fucking banging at the moment. Jesus Christ. If it was, it's in some of my videos. I have a fucking pregnancy belly at the moment. I have not worked out in like 2.5 years.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just it. I thought I to make myself look pregnant.
I love it. When is she due?
That is obviously pushing it. I'm not that fat. I am fat, but not that fat.
But I think it's a validation thing. Like, let's be honest, we do post to Instagram to get a bit of attention. Like, I'm sorry, have you never scrolled through Instagram and been like, I want to look like that guy, or I want to look like that girl? And I'm going to kind of try to recreate that. This is the thing where I like kind of prefer guys that just don't even look at Instagram or know what it is. Because I'm like, I don't want you to take the Instagram image and like correlate that with real life, because you're just constantly trying to validate yourself.
It's like me with YouTube for years. I was trying to validate myself as this thing or this person that I created when I was like 15 or 16. I was like this protectiveness of me, and then to come back to it, I had that on Instagram, Twitter. I was like, this fucking makes sense. What's the point of it? Yes, I was a giant asshole in school. Literally had a conversation with this kid earlier. I was like, I was a giant prick in 5th year and 6th year, because I came out and everyone was like terrified of me, and I was like, I own everything. You know, and you remember me walking in the halls and we all like parked the ways, and people did. I'm like, I don't know how I had that power. Should have had it. Was definitely a dickhead. But looking back, I'm like, who was that?
But it's true that you can change quite a lot, because I would have said in school I was very shy, like not really that outgoing. Like I was quite an awkward kid, and then I would have said in college I was probably insecure about how like shy I was in school. I was just like awkward socially. Whereas now I'm like kind of feel like I'm over that. So you just like evolve as a person. Like I when I meet people and like say I'm like chatting to them and I'm like, well, I was actually really awkward and shy as a kid and I didn't have that many friends, and they're like, what the fuck? I just don't believe that, because you're so like high energy. And I'm like, yes, because I'm not like 14 and like covered in acne anymore.
Like, oh my god, the world's gonna end because Brian's out of me.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. Like, it's so different. Like, especially because like, you were what? I'm 25 this year, and you're 20, so you're what, 3 years younger than me. So you were in what? When I was in 6th year, you were in, I'm going to say, did you do that?
Yeah, I would have been in TY, I'd say.
Yeah. I think you were in TY, yeah. So like you would have, I don't mean this in any way stuck up me being like you would have, but you knew who I was.
Yeah, like I would have known people, but I wouldn't like, I'm kind of glad looking back that probably not a lot of people knew who I was, because I'm like, yes, love that, no one knew who I was. Whereas like, obviously when you're in school, you want people to know who you were. So when I was like a teenager, super awkward, like not great at the whole social thing, I was like, oh, I'd love to be one of those girls that the whole school knows. And now I'm like, don't know me. I don't want you to know me.
I was that person for years. I bullied her, all that kind of shit, and then I came to be that person everyone knew. It's fucking... Yes, I did like it for a certain part because I got the power back from when I was hurt by other people. But also the other side, like, it's very lonely. Because no one wants to be your actual friend by your friends.
Mm.
Like I remember being in sixth year and a lot of people were scared of me and I didn't understand why they were afraid of me. But it was because I was genuinely friends with everyone and had to crack with everyone. Because I came out, and I think people are afraid because I came out that I had this almighty power now that I given out like that. Yeah, because I didn't give a fuck anymore. That's why I had almighty power. But people kind of viewed me differently when I came out. I'm like, why? I'm still me. I just don't give a flying fuck what to say. If you're gonna
It's
say
not like
something,
a label like, oh, I'm Stephen, I came out, I'm gay now,
hmm,
everyone loves me, I'm great. Like,
hmm.
you know, why does it have to be like that? But like as you said, you've changed so much as a person. I think that happens. Like I feel like you're not really like an identity when you're in school. Like your brain like can't really process a lot of stuff, and you're not aware to a lot of stuff. And then you kind of like grow into adulthood, and you're like, oh, now I love a coffee in the morning and stuff. You know.
Well, on Dev, I had like 6 coffees today. That's cool. We don't drink coffee anymore. We do the odd time. Coffee and we aren't friends. That school ruined me with coffee. They should not have sold us coffee as students. They should not
No,
have been allowed. I don't get how they were allowed to do that. Cause I'm pretty sure in America they don't sell coffee to kids, and in America they're stupid.
but do you find, this might be a bit TMI, do you find that coffee can kind of act as a laxative
Oh yeah, full
sometimes?
like coffee is a laxative. Full on.
It's mental.
Oh, like, and I remember that's one thing like I do. People may or not notice I don't like going to bathrooms in public places. Just something I was in a Portaloo when I was I think 5 or 6 at a Wexford game, and drunk idiots pushed Portaloo over. So since that day, you can laugh where everyone does.
I love
I
that.
have a fear of going to the bathroom in public, even if it's in a bathroom. It has
Have
to be
you
a
ever
closed area.
experienced walking in on someone in a public bathroom who hasn't locked the door, or you've
Mm-hmm.
been walked in because you haven't locked the door?
Or the door won't lock because there's no lock and you're trying to hold it, but
Yeah.
you're also trying to go to the bathroom and you can't, your arms aren't on it. Right. Too many
You're like,
times.
sorry, I'm actually taking a shit in here. Can you wait?
You're more than welcome to come in, but like, it's not going to smell nice, not to. Fuck off.
It's so true, though. I think that happened to me so much as a little kid. And when you're younger, you're just like, who is this adult coming in on me while I'm peeing?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm peeing, please get out of my room. I'm like, I locked the door. And they're like, no, you didn't. I was like, fuck off. I did. Pee well. No, but like, it's so strange, like, looking back on all of it, especially in this situation, Jesus. How do you obviously as you were speaking before this I was saying a couple of things how have you looked back on certain things, what way are you looking, obviously you've mentioned obviously your body and how you do that, have you kind of had a moment where you've looked back and not judged yourself but you've looked back on your past and kind of viewed how you either spoke yourself, judged yourself, or how you what's the word I'm looking for, kind of went about with yourself back then that you would change now or you're judging, if you get what I mean, like how you
Yeah,
would
yeah.
look back on it.
I feel like I'm in quite a good like situation, whereas this time a year ago I would have probably been a bit of a mess. So I feel like that has happened in the last like year, kind of noticing this stuff. Yeah. But like last year I was in a relationship which was literally a dead end, and I was like, why was I even in that? And then the year before that I actually got cheated on, so I was like, why is this like recurring? Like and I think when that breakup happened, like it's coming up to 2 years now, that was literally like a shattering moment in my life, because like, you know, your first ever like proper love,
Yeah,
you go into obsession mode. And I remember being so obsessed with this person that like you're just like, I'll let you do whatever you want, like treat me like shit, I don't care. And after that I think it like went to click, and I was like, yeah, things are just going to change now. And I think in quarantine I'm looking back like, I put up with a lot of shit, like what the fuck.
I have no idea what you're on about. I was a strong independent woman, I never got mad. No, full on there with your sister, know exactly what you're on about. Looking back, like I've looked back on my past relations before getting, I'm like, isn't, even as you just said, the fuck did I put up with?
Yeah. Like they never spoke to me, and they used to go out with their mates and never hang out with me. That's grand. Just still love me, please.
It's just like, but you're still saying you love me, so it's grand. But you're just like, and they look like, what was I at? Like, was I just been like, here, beat me? Well, not physically, but like, beat me. You might as well just batter my face. Oh, don't tell me funny.
Experienced that, like, having breakups. I feel like breakups are inevitable, and they kind of are like the best thing ever, because it forces you to feel like your heart is being cut out of your body, but also you're kind of like learning quite a lot about yourself and how you react to things. And then now in quarantine, I'm looking back maybe at stuff that I'm like really embarrassed about, and I'm like, thank God. But then you have to remember that's like in the past, so you know.
No, I would never say embarrassed. I definitely done things I shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
But I'll stand by that person because at the time I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
I am embarrassed, but I also still stand by Cycle Stephen.
I'm sticking my picket in the ground. I was right.
Like, people cheating. Oh, like my relationship's so different nowadays.
Yeah, you were in a long term relationship. Like I obviously don't have experience in that. I haven't been with someone like for a long period of time. So like obviously you are experienced now, like as opposed to like being so obsessed with someone, whereas in a long term relationship you're actually like coordinated as one like person. I know why I'm doing little hand movements, but it's more authentic, and like obviously I'm sure like long-term relationships get boring after a while, but that probably boring is good because it means you're in a secure place.
Oh yeah, like we had a conversation this evening and we're like, it's like some days I just want to put a pillow over your face. I just kill you. Because like I know I get money because like you put me down as that person on your thing for work. But other days I just want to kiss the face off you. But also fun shit. He's like, yeah, no, I feel the same. And like I was joking because like in the video I put up today, I was like, oh, about like getting married, or we both want to get married, but like our constant fight is like, who's going to propose first? Not the fact that if we do or don't want to do it, just we do or don't want to do it. It's like our constant fight is who's doing it first.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like, bitch, you better get a ring and make it super romantic and get down on their knees.
But then I also want to do that for him. So I'm like, I want it for me, but I also want to do it for him as well. I'm like, how does this work? Being engaged, a little bit more stressful than that was. But even that, like from you, what you would have known me like back in the day, like, you would have. We were working in said hotel when I met Killian actually.
Yeah, I think so. It was literally just before I left. And actually, when I was watching one of your videos and you were saying you were with Killian for 4 years, I was like, that's mental. Like, why did I think they were together like literally 10 months? Like, they've been together so long.
Once I heard once 10 years feels like 10 years.
A lifetime.
Oh, yeah, it's gone on nearly 4 years this Christmas.
That's
fucking so crazy. Because I remember saying it to you that I had met him on Tinder and whatever, and you were one of the people I sent into work, and a couple of other people, and a lot of the younger girls and guys were like, oh, you're crazy, why are you talking to him, he lives up there, and you were like, go for it, and a lot of the older staff were like, go for it.
Yeah.
And I fucking ended up moving up and like, look me fucking out, I'm living in Dublin fucking 3.5 years later, like we've had 3 different houses, we're looking to get a mortgage.
You went into that relationship, and I think like it went very quickly. Like you like the relationship like escalated quicker than it would, and I remember like you moved up and I was like, Jesus, what if they break up? But like clearly those things really don't matter. It's more like no one knows your relationship like you do. So like here you are 4 years later, and if you hadn't decided to go meet like that guy off Tinder, you wouldn't be with him. Like this is the thing.
It was so crazy. You know yourself from working on we never got days off. I somehow got 3 days off on a weekend. And then I did defo ring.
Rare.
Said manager, been like, oh, I can't come home. The train's still got no money. And then the manager said they were going. I was like, no, that's tomorrow. Fuck off. None of that ever happened. It was all like.
I was with my lover. Stop.
I found my lover. Goodbye. Stop crying to me. Oh no, it's a strange time. You know, look, it's been very obviously interesting having the chat this evening, and obviously I haven't had a catch up. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or would like
Yeah,
to.
no, I think it was a really good idea. I'd love coming on and having the chats. I'm always up for a little natter with people. So yeah, I think it's a good idea, and like I hope you do get more people on because it's a good thing to like reach out to people, and I can't wait to see myself. I'll be like looking up at the screen like, oh.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like, I don't want this happen when I put these up. I'm like, I listen to the other person. Like, don't look at yourself. Did you look at the wall? Did you like fiddle with something? Are you playing with your phone? Oh, it's good. The first one, my brother was like, "You checked your phone when I text you." I'm like, "You text me. Clearly, I'm gonna check it, but you look down really obviously." I'm like, "What else was I meant to do?" You text me, so I went, "Yeah, thank you." No, it is.
I know,
Like,
I'm looking forward to seeing it up now. We probably chatted a lot of shit, but I enjoyed the shit chat, so can't
yeah,
wait.
that is the whole point. But like, obviously, when I chat to my brother, it was very about being a teacher. But that is the whole point. Like, the whole point of the series is me connecting with old friends and also me having a chat with people and seeing how every other person is dealing with this situation. Because obviously, I'm dealing with it differently. You're dealing with it differently. Brother's dealing with it differently. Killian's dealing with it. My housemates are dealing with it differently. So that's the whole point of just to have an open conversation that people can have a chat and some people are like, oh, it's not going to get you views. Like they're over an hour during each hour.
Oh, well, I think that's like put it on in the background. Listen to parts you want to listen to. Like
The videos I put on Friday are the ones I produce and I put love and care into. They're the ones I want people to watch. This is one where, as you just said, stick it on in the background. It's literally a chat. It's like a podcast, except
yeah,
like Stephen definitely can't afford a podcast shit right now.
I
But
think
it's
you
like
do
that.
great a podcast. That's a great business idea now. I think you should do that and have me on and endorse me.
Definitely will do that. That's what everyone's like, why are you doing this? I'm like, yes, I do want to build a brand. And I said, do want to do it, and I've always wanted it. But it's also not the be all and all. I'm also creating because I like creating. Like I really enjoy this. I really enjoy not interview, it's having a chat. It
Yeah,
is
it's
kind
more
of an
like
interview,
a
but it's a
casual
chat.
chat. Yeah.
I really enjoy having a chat and listening to other people's views and shutting up and actually listening to them. Where if you were in my personal life, I don't ever shut up, and you know this. You've worked
That
with
is
me.
true. That is true.
You've worked with me, like so. Just the fact that I was able to like do that, it's nice to have a chat. And I suppose this situation has kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes into have a chat. Like I've talked to my mom and dad more than I fucking ever did. I moved out and I was like, don't ever contact me ever again. Go away. And I'm like, you didn't answer. Why? It's like a mocking, like, friendship.
I know, but it is
Thing.
good. Like, and I'll be watching your other ones. You might get a few celebs on or something.
Oh, let's hope. I have sent a lot of messages on Instagram. But look, if people want to come and they don't, like shit happens. That's all it is. It's not on anything particularly on yourself. Like you were probably hesitant coming on this evening to have the chat because we haven't talked in about 6 years. But it was probably. I hope it was relaxing and okay to do.
Yeah, see, I'm like, you know, when you haven't seen someone in ages, but it's like it never happened. So I'm like, I come on, I'm like, it's only Stephen I'm talking to. Whereas obviously other people probably are like, oh, it's a bit awkward, like getting on camera if you're probably a bit nervous or hesitant.
Yeah, like I know my brother, it was weird for like the first 5-7 minutes of it, and then I relaxed. He was grand, he didn't care. But you see, his teacher does Zoom calls every fucking day for kids.
Yeah.
I was like, this is weird, and then I was like, oh, I'm on camera. Hi. But like I know that's the whole point of it, just having a chat. Look, it's been very good. Look,
I've enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Definitely, yeah. Like I'm deaf. That is something we want to do in the future. A podcast, you want to kind of set up a room to do it. It's fucking hard. You need to send group shit. Mics. It's actually a lot more expensive than you think it is. But that's definitely what we're gonna do. Thanks for everyone that has watched this. We have. Do you want me to put your socials in below?
You can put my Instagram in, but I'll only accept you if you're not a weirdo and going to slide in my DMs with something weird.
I just want to slide in your DMs now for the banter, just the crack. Is Instagram down below. Look, I hope you've enjoyed this. This has obviously been the second episode in this. I have a couple more people that have actually agreed to come on. Some of them are wanting to come on like a 4-person thing. But look, it's going to be very weird and different. It's just chat. That's all it is. People watch it, people don't. I hope you're enjoying this. Also, I put up a video on Friday. Go watch that. It's like 10 minutes instead of like shares. But yeah, thanks. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, notifications, all that bullshit. Comment down below that we're the best people ever. And yeah, chat to you later.